Hello everyone, my name is Noah Raven and welcome to the Xander Zone. In today's episode, we'll be covering a new theory that I came up with called Remnant MCI. This will be using evidence provided in previous episodes covering Molten MCI and Rockstar MCI. So if you haven't seen those videos yet, I'd strongly recommend it as those videos explain everything from evidence, issues, and lore to their respective theories. However, let's get into how we're going to have this video laid out. First, we'll cover what Remnant MCI is, then what Remnant itself is, then Remnant MCI's evidence, then its issues, then lastly, Remnant MCI Story if it were to be assumed it is canon. Though, as always, if you enjoy this episode, please do hit that like and subscribe button as we have a goal of 2,500 subs by the end of the month. While you're at it, comment down below your theories, thoughts, comments, or really anything down below, and I'll do my best to reply to you. Just remember to keep it kind, calm, and respectful. Lastly, share this video with your friends and family as every bit helps, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's get into what Remnant MCI is. Remnant MCI is my theory that some of the Remnant from the FNAF 1 animatronics went to the Rockstars and entered, with the possibility of entered not having any Remnant under a certain circumstance. What sparked this theory for me was a debate between the two theories and the evidence we have gotten throughout the years for it. The first thing that brought this was the fun facts in FNAF AR stating that Rockstar Bonnie was made from FNAF 1 Bonnie's parts, meaning that if any Remnant was inside of FNAF 1 Bonnie, it would have transferred over to Rockstar Bonnie, making him possessed. Though, we also have evidence from Molten MCI, within FNAF Help Wand 1, specifically in Ennard's vent repair level. When you get to the furnace, you can see endoskeletons in the furnace, and specifically 4 different sets of animatronic parts. However, it isn't the full endos, just pieces, meaning that some parts were left behind and possibly for them to be used for the Rockstars. So I have a feeling that either both Molten Freddy and the Rockstars are possessed, or neither of them are. Though the reason they could both be possessed, which is what I'm going to be going with for this theory, is that William only took pieces of the FNAF 1 animatronics, except for maybe one of them, which he might have taken the full endo, though the rest of these parts that were left behind by William after dismantling the animatronics and being spring-locked would have been found by Fazbear Entertainment eventually, which they used later to make the Rockstar animatronics, while William injected the fun times with Remnant, with the Rockstars using the FNAF 1 animatronics parts and the fun times using their Remnant that was infused into them. Now, with the theory explained, what is Remnant? Okay, so let's get into what Remnant is. Remnant is essentially when a soul which typically binds itself with metal is later melted down very carefully into like a mercury-like consistency, which can later be used to be injected into other objects, which in the FNAF universe is typically an animatronic. We know this based off of Pizza Sim's blueprint of the Scooper, or SCUP for short, which means Scalable Creation of Ulterior Presence. As you can see, the scoop is used to excavate an animatronic, but mainly used to inject Remnant into objects, and the way this is obtained is by heating Remnant at a sustained temperature to make it malleable. If it's overheated, the effects of Remnant may be neutralized forever, with it basically now just being melted metal and nothing else. So, once it has no motion by the human eye, it's at the right temperature. Though, once this is achieved, the Remnant is lined on the interior of the scoop and is used to inject Remnant into something. However, as it states, too much of this Remnant being injected can negate its effect. I mean, too much Remnant can lead to no Remnant as well. Though, that's all we really know about Remnant as this video comes out, as it always changes from story to story and we always learn new things about it. So, yeah, let's get into the next section. Okay, so let's get into Remnant MCI's evidence. The first piece of evidence I want to bring forth is the furnace in Ennard's hard mode level in FNAF Help Wand 1. First, we know that the endos in here aren't complete. They do add up to 4 different animatronics, but they are missing parts, meaning that either some just weren't used when William brought the endos to the bunker, or William left some pieces behind before he was spring-locked later on. Next piece of evidence is the Faz facts from FNAF AR. Now, if you don't know, there are a lot of emails that never made into FNAF AR. However, Scott did say they could be used as canon to the FNAF lore, though he never mentioned the Faz facts, as these also never made into the game. However, just like what Sire Squawk said in his video about Rockstar MCI, if the emails can be used for the canon, why can't the Faz facts? They are finished and had all the text laid out for them. Though, what does this Faz fact say? Well, this Faz fact in particular states that Rockstar Bonnie was made using the parts from FNAF 1 Bonnie, which supports my previous piece of evidence even more. If some parts were in the furnace, Odds are some were left behind by William. Now, you're probably wondering what proof we have of these animatronics being possessed by the remnant of the FNAF 1 animatronics in the first place. For Molten Freddy, this is very easy to show, as in this blueprint, though remember take it with a grain of salt as it wasn't in Pizza Sim, to something in the files of the game. Molten Freddy has the highest amount of remnant within him, meaning either whatever is in this amalgamation has something special about it to cause it to have a lot of remnant, more than Afton, Lefty, and Scrap Baby, or there's multiple separate pieces of remnant involved in Molten Freddy. And due to our current evidence, I'm leaning more towards multiple pieces of remnant inside of Molten Freddy, not some special person with a bunch of remnant we haven't heard of. Now, the Rockstars. Admittedly, it's very hard to determine if these guys are possessed at all, as we only see them in two games, being Pizza Sim, in which they are friendly, and UCN, which they are hostile. But UCN takes place in William's mind, though there's a few things I want to throw around for you guys. First is Rockstar Bonnie. When I say this guy is weird, I mean he is weird, specifically in how he looks and his voice lines. Now, I want you to look at these images and tell me who looks possessed and wants revenge and who doesn't out of the Rockstars. I'll give you a few seconds. Yeah, Rockstar Bonnie looks like he wants revenge on William, and his voice lines support this. Specifically this one, in which he seems to flat out acknowledge that he has seen William before.
So good to see you again, my truest friend, but now your life must end.
So if Rockstar Bonnie recognizes William, it would have to be through the fact that FNAF 1 Bonnie's remnant is in Rockstar Bonnie. However, something doesn't quite add up here. What about the others? Well, Freddy kinda acts like how an animatronic should. Chica's acting like your stereotypical country chicken, and Foxy is actually friendly to you and helps you in UCN. So we only really have evidence for Bonnie being possessed. However, there are 4 endos in the furnace, right? Well, if I were to tell you that Rockstar Bonnie is possessed by FNAF 1 Bonnie, and Molten Freddy is possessed by Freddy, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy's remnant all in one. So let's get into the pieces of evidence to really tie his theory together, and it's this screenshot right here. This screenshot is in Funtime Foxy's hard mode level in FNAF Help Wanted 1. As you can see, it shows Lolpit and a FNAF 1 endoskeleton just roaming around. Well, what if I were to tell you that this endo would have been Bonnie's endoskeleton that would be later used for Rockstar Bonnie? After all, there's 4 total endos inside the furnace and 1 just roaming around everywhere. Though you're probably saying, Raven, we never see Golden Freddy get dismantled by William in FNAF 3, and yeah, you're right. However, do we ever see Golden Freddy again as a suit past FNAF 3 at all? No, we don't. Maybe in Yendo, but that's about it. Otherwise, we never see Golden Freddy in FNAF 3 or Pizza Sim. We don't even see evidence of him in future games like FNAF Security Breach in the museum section by the animatronic screen rooms. And if the princess is meant to be Cassidy, who possesses the Golden Freddy suit, or Andrew depending on how you view the story of FNAF, then why don't they appear as Golden Freddy in these games, or even at least a nod to it? Odds are it's because the suit isn't even relevant anymore. It's gone. So that's the evidence for Remnant MCI. But what are its issues? Well, let's get right into it. Okay, so let's get right into Remnant MCI's issues. The first issue is the furnace. We know Remnant has to be carefully heated to a specific temperature so that it can be infused into other items without its effects being lost. We know this due to the Scooper blueprint and Pizzeria Simulator. This means that it's possible that the remnant here lost its effect in the furnace, since it wasn't William operating it. Next is also this furnace. There are only 4 endos in there, meaning it's very possible that this extra endoskeleton could be someone else's endoskeleton or just a random endo, meaning that Rockstar Bonnie may not be possessed at all if this is someone else's endo or just some random endo. Next issue is slight speculation on my part, but hear me out. We know William knows about Remnant, so what's to say that he doesn't know how to identify it and only took the parts of the FNAF 1 animatronics that would have Remnant within them and left the non-Remnant pieces behind? I mean, Rockstar Bonnie isn't possessed at all, just used the parts that had no remnant to them. Next is a lot of the Rockstars seem to not be possessed, as the only one that we really have evidence for being possessed is Rockstar Bonnie, and that's really about it. So what's to say that since the other Rockstars aren't possessed, that Rockstar Bonnie isn't too? Next is a blueprint for Molten Freddy. As stated before, this was a finished blueprint, however it was never implemented into Pizzeria Simulator, meaning that this could be or could not be canon to the games. We haven't heard anything from Scott Cawthon or Steel Wool on this case, so we can only guess if this is canon or not until we hopefully one day get an answer. Otherwise, I can't think of many other issues with this theory, so let's get right into the story of Remnant MCI. Okay, so let's get right into the story of Remnant MCI assuming it is canon. Now, I've explained the beginning of this so many times in the past videos, so I'm just going to kind of skip to when William's doing his thing. So, while Michael Afton is working at the sister location bunker, William rushes to dismantle the FNAF 1 animatronics, due to Michael discovering that these animatronics were possessed. William, night by night, dismantles each of the animatronics, and brings them back one by one, and throws them into a furnace to later be melted down and injected into the fun times. However, William only took certain pieces of FNAF 1 animatronics, as he only needed so much to work for his crazy idea of injecting them into the fun times. However, before he could complete his work, he was spring locked in the Spring Bonnie animatronic, before he could inject the fun times with the Remnant. However, he did have a lucky backup plan. He had a technician that would perform maintenance on the building to make sure everything is a perfect 72 degrees in the facility. This technician pulls this off by turning on the furnace, which in hand melts the FNAF 1 animatronic endos and transfers the Remnant into the scooper machine. At the end of FNAF's sister location, all the animatronics visited the scooper room and later formed into Ennard, not knowing they were injecting themselves with Remnant from other animatronics from another location. However, Bonnie's endo was never broken down by William to be put into the furnace, and was later found by Fazbear Entertainment in the bunker, as they went to investigate the disappearances of two technicians they sent to work on the fun times while Michael was working there. However, all they found were two dead bodies, a FNAF 1 endo, and the pieces of the fun times in the scooper room, and nothing else. So, in typical Fazbear Entertainment fashion, they covered up the deaths and took this FNAF 1 endo to be used to build the new Rockstar line, and specifically for the Rockstar Bonnie animatronic. Little did they know that this would also cause the Rockstar animatronic to become possessed by the Remnant the original endo had. Michael, having Ennard within him, eventually puked him up and was still alive and swore revenge on his father, while Ennard kicked out Baby and later became Molten Freddy and Scrap Baby. Fast forward a little bit to Pizza Sim, and Michael Afton and Henry Emily are working together to bring everyone together, to burn the place down, to hopefully heat up the Remnant enough to null its effects and set everyone free to end the horrors caused by William Afton. However, they didn't know that Rockstar Bonnie was possessed, though thankfully Michael purchased the Rockstar animatronics, which in turn set Bonnie free alongside Molten Freddy, Lefty, Scrap Baby, and Afton. However, what they didn't know was that within Molten Freddy, there was a vengeful spirit waiting to have the opportunity to attach itself to William, to torment him in his own mind through possession, and this was the perfect opportunity for the spirit named Cassidy. Cassidy in Afton's final moments possessed Afton and kept him alive to torment him. This is what we see in UCN. However, Cassidy eventually lets William pass away, only staying to fend off any more evil within this establishment, with help from Old Man Consequences, leading us into modern FNAF today. Okay, so let's get into issues. With the story of Remnant MCI, the first biggest issue is why William didn't dismantle Bonnie's endo further, and Fazbear Entertainment finding it. We know Fazbear Entertainment did indeed find Bonnie's endo, but not how they found it, so that's pure speculation. Same goes for why William didn't fully break down Bonnie's endo to be turned into Remnant. However, that one has a little more evidence to it. Golden Freddy being in Molten Freddy is also speculation, due to Golden Freddy not being seen getting dismantled in Follow Me, and we never see the suit past FNAF 1 in any way at all. Next is which animatronics Michael got at Pizzeria Simulator's restaurant. We know he got a lot of expensive items, but not his animatronics, as there's no evidence of who he got in FNAF Security Breach's Burn Trap ending. Otherwise, everything else has solid evidence for Remnant MCI, so if there's any issues that I've missed, please let me know in the comments down below. Just remember to keep it kind, calm, and respectful. But without further ado, let's get right into my final thoughts. Okay, I do like this theory, however, I have to give it a 6 to 7 out of 10. It's a solid theory with a good amount of evidence, but also a decent amount of speculation to it with its issues. I feel it's a step forward, as we have been gaining evidence for both Molten and Rockstar MCI, however, neither provides enough evidence to prove just one of the two currently. So I'm hoping in the future we get some answers, or just one day a flat-out answer from Scott or Steel Wool. But I think I might have an idea that might satisfy everyone, but you might have to piece it together for a little bit, depending on what happens with the next episode. So let's get into my outro. Okay, and that is all that I have for this episode, so yeah, before we really get into the typical outro stuff, I just kind of want to talk about a couple random things and, maybe throw a couple ideas out there, and maybe you guys could tell me what you really think of everything. So first thing I want to do is I'm recording this the Monday after the 4th of July. I forget what today's date is, but I first want to apologize for not live streaming that much on Twitch as of late at the time of recording this. I'm hoping it's going to start back up really quick here. If you don't know, I haven't been feeling the best with my autoimmune disease. It's just been out of whack as of late, and I've just been really busy with 4th of July and other personal life things, as well as videos and all that stuff. So it's made it very difficult to stream, but I'm going to try to get back into it as I'm starting to feel a little bit better now, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, next thing I want to talk about is videos. So one thing I was thinking of with videos going forward is that, because I do want to go to college. If you guys don't know, I plan on going to college this fall, and I don't know how often I'll be able to do theory videos. So I'm thinking of maybe upping how many gameplay videos I release a month. Maybe I release 1 theory video a month or something like that. I don't know. It's something that, you know, we'll have to look and see how my schedule goes. And as much as I wouldn't want to do that, as I like doing 2 theory videos a month, it might be something that might have to be done. So that one's kind of like a throwing it out there as an idea. Maybe, you know, come September, October, November, we'll see how far I get working ahead, and we'll just see kind of how that goes. And then another thing I've been debating on is with FNAF location is for its custom night thing that it has. I was thinking of saving that for if I ever get streaming or gaming laptop at all, because if you guys don't know, sister location on console is an absolute freaking nightmare. At the time of recording this, I have completed night 1 and 2, but I just haven't had time to complete the other nights. But let me tell you, it is just, oh man, I don't like it. I really don't. So I'm debating on holding off on the series or recording other things so that they're ready, so that I don't have to wait to finish this location. I don't know, we'll have to see. So yeah, otherwise I don't think I really have much else other than just to promote my social media. So yeah, if you don't know, I do have a Discord. We talk about really anything from FNAF, Dead by Daylight, Bendy the Ink Machine, Poppy Playtime, or just anything in the whole wide world, you know, like food, pets, everything. It doesn't really matter, just talk about anything. You can also promote your own stuff, your own servers, YouTubes, Twitches, all sorts of things there. So yeah, go check it out. Another thing, I do also have Twitter, where you can get updates and just random happenings in my life, or just random funny quotes that I hear or do myself. Sometimes it's just random stuff on there. And yeah, Twitch as well, as I always like to stream there, and I am going to be getting ready to stream other games outside of Dead by Daylight. So yeah, that is all that I have for today's episode. So yeah, again, thank you all so much for watching this video. You know, if you've made it this far, I don't know, comment banana. I don't know, I had a conversation with my girlfriend earlier, and we were talking about banana Laffy Taffy. So you know what, comment banana. And as always, if you enjoy this video, please do hit that like and subscribe button, as we do have a goal of 2,000 subs by the end of the month. While you're at it, comment down below really anything in the whole wide world, your theories, thoughts, disagreements, or really anything. Just make sure to keep it kind, calm, and respectful. And if you made it this far, comment down below banana. And lastly, share this video with your friends and family, as every bit helps. And well, without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day. Stay safe. I'll see you in my next video and or live stream. And peace out. However, just like what side they did, Furnace and Ennard's hard mode level and how